And we'll start sitting slightly forward on the chair so that your feet are flat and your back is upright rather than leaning back. And you can rest your hands in your lap or your arms down by your sides, wherever it's comfortable for you. And either close your eyes or take a soft gaze towards the floor in front of you. And begin to slow down your breath. One thing I notice as I begin my practice is coming into my body, into this present moment. I notice how future-oriented I generally am. So much planning, so much preparing for other things. So this is a time here to just be in the now, fully feeling what it's like to be in your body, in this moment. Not as a preparation for some other time. And if, like me, like many people, you have a habit of mentally traveling elsewhere, getting caught up in problem solving, planning, analyzing, all the things that human minds do. This is a time to practice noticing and coming back, returning back with gentleness, maybe feeling where your feet touch the floor, where your body is touching the chair, the sensations of this particular pose, whatever it happens to be. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open them as it's useful for you. Anytime you want to bring your attention more inward, you can close your eyes again. Let's begin with a gentle twist. You can take your left hand to the outside of your right leg and your right hand somewhere on the chair behind you, wherever you can comfortably reach. As you inhale, sit a little bit taller, and then as you exhale, try rotating a bit more, looking back over your right shoulder as far back as you can, but still keeping your knees and lower body facing forward. Keep going in this direction, but then turn your head the opposite way, like you're wringing out your spine. And then release and switch. Right hand to the outside of the left knee or leg, left hand to the chair behind you. Inhale, sit a little bit taller. Exhale, rotate a little bit more, looking back over your left shoulder, and breath by breath, see what's possible. More height, more twist. Keep going, and then turn your head the other way, looking over your opposite shoulder, wringing out. And then release back around to the front. Let's interlace fingers in front. Put some pressure between your arms, like you're going to pull them apart, spreading between the shoulder blades, spreading the upper back. And then release and interlace fingers behind your back. Maybe the other thumb on top this time. Open up the chest, lift your heart. Little upper back arch. And then release. And take a couple of big shoulder circles up and back and down. Sitting tall, let's drop the right ear over to right shoulder. Try not to lift your shoulder to meet your ear, but keep both shoulders dropped. And even a little bit more of a drop through the left shoulder. So your fingers are reaching towards the floor, increasing the stretch on left side of your neck. Rotate your chin to your chest and come over to the other side. Both shoulders drop, but now even more through your right side, looking for a stretch there. And if there's a way to have it work a little better for your body, you might lift or lower your chin a little bit. There's lots of different parts of the neck, what's interesting, what's useful for you. And then rotate your chin to your chest. Come back to the first side and go back and forth. Half circles or 3/4 circles, watching the sensation move from one side over to the other. Next time your chin is to your chest, stay there. Interlace your fingers behind your head and let your elbows hang down, stretching the back of your neck. And without pulling on your head, just can you let your arms relax more? So the fingers are interlaced, but the rest of the arms are just hanging, releasing. And then drop the arms back down, head floats back up. Take your right arm up, bend it straight back on itself, so you're touching the same shoulder. Grab your elbow and then take it back as far as you can, looking for a stretch on the right upper arm. You can move around, explore, or just see what you notice here. Release right arm up. Open it out. Take it across, hook with the other arm, hug it in close. And as you do this, draw back through your right shoulder so you're still square across your chest. Still feeling the full height of your spine. Release, arm out. Rotate your thumb to point down. Wrap it around behind your back, so back of your hand is at your waist. Interlace fingers at your waist. Pull your knuckles around towards the front. As far towards the front as you can. Doesn't have to be any further than you're able. And then elbows go towards one another. From here, circle your right shoulder. Keeping fingers interlaced, reach both arms back. Open up the heart. You might stay upright, and you might fold forward, and folding is just as much as you're able. It could be just dropping your head, or you could be folding over your lap. You could be reaching your arms away from your back. And just because you could be doing these things doesn't mean you should. You're working with your limits, your body, perfect as it is, and just exploring what's possible. Release, come up. A few big shoulder circles. Up and back and down. Let's take the left arm up, bend it straight back. Grab your elbow, take it back. What do you notice? What do you feel? And then release, arm up, open it out, take it across, hook with the other arm, hug it in close. You can sit as tall as you like. And then release, arm out, thumb points down, wrap it around. This time when you go to interlace your fingers, try the other way, the way you don't normally cross, non-dominant. Knuckles towards the front, elbows towards one another, and then circle your left shoulder. Keeping fingers interlaced, reach both arms back. Fold any amount. Release, come up. Couple big shoulder circles up and back and down. Okay, let's cross the right ankle above the left knee. Right outer hip stretch and work with your body. Your knee might be quite high, that's okay. It's going towards the floor just as much as it will. You don't have to force anything. Sit as tall as you can, and then if you're able to keep that length and fold to the degree you're able. You might end up supporting yourself on your hands or your elbows. Keep going towards length, towards folding, hopefully getting a stretch on the right outer hip. Release, come up, extend that right leg forward and then flex and point your foot. Circle your ankle. A few big circles, both directions. Same thing other side. Left ankle crosses above the right knee. Sit tall and fold whatever amount. Going towards length, towards maybe a deeper fold, and at any moment you might back out just enough so it's not too much, or you might move in a little bit deeper. Let's release, come up, extend that leg out, flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. And release. Take the right arm up and over. Come into a big side stretch, reaching through your fingers. Circle your right arm back behind you, exploring the full range of motion for this shoulder joint. Finish up the circle you're on, and then bring it all the way over to the other side. Left arm up and over. Big reach out like a yawn. And then circle your left arm back behind you. Finish up the circle you're on. And come back up. And then we'll take both arms out, flex the palms, pull your fingers up, reach through the base of the hand strongly, and then curl fingertips down and in as if you're trying to touch your forearm. Flex again, fingers up and back. Curl it down, fingers in, and then a big circle, a couple times both directions. Flexing and stretching all those little muscles of the forearm. And then release, and let's come to stand behind the chair. I'm just going to turn so it's easier for you to see me. So placing hands on the back of the chair, let's slowly lift the heels and then lower them again. Try and do this slowly so there's not like a jerking up and down, but controlled, even up and down. If you want to challenge your balance, you can take your hands off the chair or just barely touch. If you want a big challenge, do this 1 foot at a time. So you can lift 1 foot and then just lift and lower on one toe, switch sides. You might even try that without holding the chair. That's a lot harder. So finding your comfortable challenge. This is strengthening calves, stretching toes, and working balance. Let's do 2 more or 1 more on each side. And release. Come back to neutral. Imagine there's a rod between your knees, so your knees stay in line with one another, and we're going to bend the right leg and bring the heel up towards the bum and down 5 times. So try not to have your right knee come forward as you do this, but stay right in line with the left. So lifting up and down. This is like a curl for the hamstring. Up and down. Don't go any higher than you need to. Up and down. Up and down. 1 more. And then release. Whew. Hamstrings are often a little bit weak. I really feel that, just 5 of them. So knees together, bend the left leg, and then lift it up and down. Just check that your knees are still in line with one another. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. And last one. Good, and then let's stretch out those hamstrings. We'll take a downward facing dog using the chair. So you can have your hands on the top of the chair. Step the feet back so your feet are right under your hips. Feet are hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart. If you want to make it a little bit more intense, you could bring your hands to the seat of the chair. This is very much like down dog. The difference is there's very little pressure on the wrists, and it's a little easier on the hamstrings, calves. Good modification. flex the sit bones up and back. Lengthen the hips away from the hands, but see if you can keep your shoulders down away from the ears. Outwardly rotating the upper arms to make space for the shoulders. One more breath here. Let's release. Make your way back up. And let's take a seat back on the chair. This time we can sit all the way back on the chair. And we're going to take the palms together, rub them, and do a little facial massage. So take off any glasses or anything off your face if there's something on your face. And we'll begin by placing the palms over the eyes, sealing out the light and encouraging your eyes to not only close but relax back. Keeping eyes closed and relaxed, bring your fingertips to the center of the forehead and rub from the center towards the sides. You can use your fingertips or thumbs and keep coming back to the center and then spreading towards the sides of the face. If you find a place that's tender, you might hold it with steady pressure or little circles. And then bringing fingertips to either side of the nose, pressing into the sinus area, pressing and spreading, finding little pressure points, things that feel interesting to you, and then working along your cheekbone until you get to where your jaw connects to your skull, that hinge joint just under your ear. You can give the strong jaw muscle a rub, finding little pressure points under your ear, maybe even giving your earlobes a squeeze or pull. And then working your way along your jawline towards your chin. Give the chin a little pinch or press. And then take the heels of the hands and make a couple big circles into the cheeks, massaging the cheeks into the cheekbones and teeth. And then go back over any area that needed a little extra work. You can also give your scalp a rub, like a dry shampoo, with your fingertips. You might give your neck and shoulders a little squeeze. When you're done, smooth over the face. Imagine you just washed your face, wiping away the water, wiping away any last bit of tension. And then shake it out of your hands. And you could finish with giving your forearms and hands a little rub after all that work, after all that they do for you. And check in with the rest of your body. Is there anything you need to be comfortable, to settle into a few moments of stillness? You can make any adjustments. Settle back into your seat. You can rest your hands in your lap. Maybe a couple of extra deep exhales or even a sigh. And then let your breath be natural without any effort. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And let this movement increase gradually through your wrists and ankles. Eventually stretching out long through your arms and legs. You can scoot forward on your chair again. Bring hands together at the heart. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for chair yoga.